Hi, how are you today? The improved package has arrived. We're having it fitted in time for FP1. Have a look at the factory report.
Yes, hello everyone, welcome back to another episode in my F1 2017 career mode here today on Monaco, so this should be an interesting Grand Prix. As you can see that I fitted a gearbox wear, but without further ado, let's get into practice.
Welcome to Monaco for this weekend's Formula One Grand Prix. It's a race that is truly steeped in history, but before the drivers turn their attention to winning, they first need to get through today's tricky practice session. Lowe's hairpin is the slowest corner of any track on the Formula One calendar. It's taken at just 48 kilometers an hour, but provides a stunning view on the first lap as the entire grid bunches up and tiptoes through the corner, hoping not to leave any carbon fiber parts behind.
This is such a tight bend that a special steering rack is used just to get around this very corner, as the cars would not normally be able to make the turn. There is the possibility of overtaking through Lowe's, but more often than not, you'll end up damaging your car.
So here we are then doing our practice programs. Here's the track acclimatization. Didn't go that well, to be honest. It was kind of average, really. Also, I only did 3 practice programs in this because I didn't have time to do the other 2. But there we are, failing the fuel saving thing. For some reason, I couldn't do that, and coming across the line now to do a qualifying program. And speaking qualifying, let's get into it right now.
We're here in magical Monaco for this afternoon's qualifying session, which will be getting underway shortly.
So here we are then, starting our first few laps in qualifying. Hopefully we can have a good quali today. Well, I hope so, because it's Monaco, because you don't really want to start at the back. But as we're now coming across the line with 2.5 minutes left in qualifying, we're coming across the line, or it's finished actually, coming across the line, and where has that put us?
We just need to push hard in the race and we can still come away with something.
So qualifying is complete and we're all set for an exciting race tomorrow.
So that lap time put us in 20th, but hold on a minute. The top 4, 18 seconds. Sure about that game? You positive that they did that in 18 seconds? Because pretty sure they wouldn't have. Because I have no idea what went on there. But last place, behind Jolyon Palmer as per usual. But you've got to be alert on a street circuit, you see. So without further ado, let's get into the race for the Monaco Grand Prix.
Motor racing has come a long way since the first Grand Prix of the early 20th century. We have faster cars, bigger circuits, highly trained drivers who've dedicated their lives to racing. It's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Anthony Davidson, could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are 3 big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions: standing water, tyre temperature and visibility. And judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. A fantastic effort from Lance Stroll yesterday puts him on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Verstappen, Felipe Massa and Hamilton, Grosjean, Ricciardo, Ocon and Sergio Perez, Sainz, Vettel, Stoffel Van Dorn and Alonso, Magnussen, Wehrlein, Nico Hülkenberg and Jolyon Palmer. A Toro Rosso and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
No heroics into Sandoval, please. We're in amongst the pack and just need to stay in one piece.
So Jeff wants me to stay in one piece, which is kind of him. So hopefully, as you can see here, it's a wet race. So now you know why I kind of lied before. I did have enough time to do all the practice programs, but now you know why I didn't do all of them, because it's wet. So hopefully we can have a good Grand Prix. We all know what this car is like in the wet from last episode. If you didn't see last episode, please do check it out. It'll be in the end slate of the video, so you can go check it out then after you've watched this video, obviously. But as we now pull away from the formation lap, hopefully we can have a good Grand Prix. Hopefully going to get some solid points, because obviously this car is amazing in these conditions, so some solid points would be helpful. And yeah, lining up on the grid now. For some reason the AI of my car decided to angle the car at a really weird angle. I don't know what that's about. But now waiting for the 5 red lights now. We've got 3, 4, 5 red lights. Looks lights out, and we go here for the Monaco Grand Prix. We've got off to a relatively good start, and Palmer has got off to a Palmer-like start, as we dive it down the inside of pretty much the entirety of the midfield, and we're now side by side with our teammate going up the hill, and we've now somehow got through, and we're now at 9th place. So we've made up 10 positions in one corner there, basically. As we now dive it down the inside of Ricciardo, going into the hairpin. Can we possibly get it done here? There's going to be a few bumps, some scrapes here. He hits the wall. As we go around the outside of this corner, I have no idea what any of these corners are called around Monaco, but we go around the outside of Ricciardo, going into the tunnel. We get better traction, and that, I have to admit, that's one of the best overtakes I've done around Monaco ever. But cutting on to lap 3 now, we've caught up to Grosjean, I think that is, yeah, Grosjean, and we've gone down the inside of him into the second to last corner. We're now right behind Lewis Hamilton, of all people. And now, as you'll see here, we're going to go dive right down the inside of Lewis Hamilton, cut him off on the exit, and we're now ahead of a Mercedes. Yep, you heard that right, we're ahead of a Mercedes. And now we're catching up to Verstappen, and the rear end went a little bit squirrely there on me on the braking zone, but we dive it down the inside of Anthony Nogues, and yeah, we're now up into 5th somehow. I don't know how, but we're now right behind Felipe Massa again. If you noticing a trend with my overtakes, by the way? I don't know if you noticed the trend of my overtakes, but we're now up into 4th position. 4th around Monaco from 19th in the space of 8 laps. I mean, what is this? And now we take Stroll and Raikkonen going in. I mean, this is just mental. I really have no idea what's going on here. But cutting on to lap 18 now. We're setting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. That's what's happening. But unfortunately, I couldn't quite catch Bottas. So yeah, as you can see now, the rain has stopped as well. So coming into the pit stops now for a set of dry tyres. However, now the AI didn't come in at all towards the end of the Grand Prix. They didn't come in at all. It all stayed on inters. I went on to the dries because it said DRS was enabled. So I assumed it was good enough for dry tyres, because if DRS is enabled, then it's obviously good enough for dry tyres, isn't it? So yeah, that was my logic behind it. But we needed a front wing change there because, you know, Monaco, you're going to hit the barriers at some point. Coming out of the pit lane now in P13. We come out just ahead of Vettel. We're ahead of Vettel somehow. I don't know how. But we're now right behind all the intermediate runners now. As Palmer is not being alert on a street circuit, as I dive it down the inside of this corner, and Palmer needs to be alert here, but I get the better traction. Obviously, I'm on the slightly better tyres for grip, so that helped me. So now we're now cutting on to lap 33 and diving it down the inside of Magnussen into the hairpin. He tries to come back at me there, which is fair play to him actually. I quite like the AI on this game this year. They are very they don't lay down easily. You know, they're very punchy this year. As we go down the inside of Alonso, I think that was. Yeah, it was Alonso. Unfortunately, he's now out of the points because of me, but we are now going to use DRS. This shouldn't be easy. The only time you can overtake a car in DRS is when it's a McLaren Honda around Monaco. But there we go then. Back up into 9th. And now we're going to chase after our teammate. But unfortunately, as you can see, that our engine is slightly out over date, shall we say. I don't know if I should change them for the next Grand Prix or not, but as you can see, it's still on screen. This is a lap later, as we set a fastest lap of the Grand Prix. And yeah, catching up to our teammate now. Are we going to make another dive bomb into the hairpin? Yes, we are. I mean, I was so up for this Grand Prix. I mean, it's not just because it was Monaco. I was just so up for it in general, you know. But we go around the outside of our teammate there, as we're now cutting on to lap 35. Later on to the lap, actually, and we're now going to go around the outside of Ricciardo. Is he going to leave us enough room? I mean, he should leave us enough room, and we are still there. We're going to go around the outside into the last corner, and we are now up into 7th place with a huge snap from the rear end there. I was lucky to not go in the wall, actually. And, yeah, cutting on to lap 36 now. We're now right behind Raikkonen again. We're going to stay behind him for a little bit as sparks fly. We're going to go down the inside of Raikkonen into the chicane after the hairpin. And, yeah, we're going to stay on board now because these overtakes come thick and fast. Because I think the dry tyres started to grip a lot quicker than the intermediates. So we go down the inside of Grosjean here, not messing about, as you can see here. We're really not messing about. And now we're going to dive it down the inside, well not down the inside, but we did lose a bit of our front wing there, but it's alright, it really won't damage our car. But we dive down the inside of Hamilton once again, and yeah, somehow we're almost back on the podium again. I don't know how this is happening. We go down the inside of Stroll as well, into the hairpin, and yeah, he for some reason tried to hold it around the outside and got stuck on the wall and caused a huge traffic jam. So that enabled me to get 3rd place, and coming around the final 2 corners now, that's Massa right in front of us, so we would have caught him a lot as well. But as we come around the final 3 corners now to take an incredible 3rd place from 19th.
Top job, my friend, top job. I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but you pulled through. Thank you.
A nearly flawless performance here then, and a commanding victory. Tell me, Ant, what was the key to this success?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
So as I say that, we can see the drivers coming out now to collect their trophies. It's yet more silverware to take back to their base in Brackley after another excellent Grand Prix. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Valtteri Bottas takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after an excellent result. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
I think I'll have to give it to the Toro Rosso driver. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. Another team that excelled today was Williams, who make further progress up the table. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
So, as Crofty would have taken you there through the final race standings, we finished 3rd, and that consolidates our 8th place as we catch up to Perez and Verstappen as well. So, you know, this has been a very good Grand Prix weekend, this has. And hopefully we can continue this form. Ricciardo not having the best of seasons down there in 13th place. He's level on points with Van Dorn, for God's sake. That shows how bad his season is going. And in the Constructors then, Toro Rosso moves up to 6th, above Haas, with 33 points. And, you know, hopefully this is where we kickstart our season. You know, and yeah. And now, I just want to show you, I mean, look how much the reputations went up for some of the teams there. I mean, come on. But after this, I discovered that there's another new feature in this game that I didn't know about. And I managed to get 10% quicker pit stops for the team. I don't know how. But if you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like and a comment. And I will see you all next time for the Canadian Grand Prix. Goodbye.